Hey guys, I'm not sure when this started, this double-handed wave. I think it's been there from the beginning, because if you're following my recent videos, you'll know I'm coming up to my 1-year anniversary of this channel being on YouTube, but I started filming way before I actually put the channel live. So I'm like, how long have I been doing the double wave? Was it there right from the beginning? I think it was. Not that it bothers me, I just kind of, it's really weird like to do an unedited video because I'm like, right, get your hands ready. It's like, I've got the beginning sorted, but I still haven't got the end sorted. And I say that every time. Anyway, I'm going to dive straight into this topic, and again apologise about the noise and the lighting because I can't do anything about it. Yes, Cat has been shut in the room with me and I can't go and open the door to let him out again. I've literally just filmed one video and now I'm filming this, so yeah, he's happy, he's asleep, he's fine. I got asked a question in the comments section of my videos, and that was from the lovely Sherry, and she asked about, because I think I was asking for like topics to talk about in these videos, and she mentioned something that I realised I don't think I've actually done a video on, that I've meant to for a really long time. So this is going to be like the condensed version of that story, because I'm not going to edit this, so I'm going to try and make it just straight to the point and a bit shorter. And that is my phobia of going to the hairdresser. So thank you, Sherry, for reminding me of this topic, because it's quite a big one and I'm now nervously tapping my foot because it's making me feel really, really stressed. Not that that's your fault. It's just the whole idea. But I have made some notes so that maybe I don't go too off topic, and because I knew I wasn't going to edit this video and I really wanted to include some photographs of the reason I have a hairdresser phobia, it will make sense in a bit. I was like, I can't insert photos if I'm not editing. And then my other half was like, oh, why don't you take a screenshot and then put it on Dropbox and then put it on the tablet, on you know, not an iPad, but the same thing, but an Android version. And then you can show them on that. And I was like, that's a really good idea. Because I was imagining, like, at first, because I said, oh, I could use the tablet and just, like, go on Facebook and find the picture. And I was like, I don't really want to, like, have my Facebook profile, like, holding it up. So we'll see how that goes. It might not actually show up very well, but I might return to this subject in the future and do it in more detail because, like I said, I'm going to make it a shorter version, she says, after speaking for 2.5 minutes on the subject and not actually telling you anything. So, if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes, I'm not being rude. Yeah, so basically I was fine with getting my hair cut until my panic attack started, which was about 5 years ago. At first I didn't know what they were, so every time I'd have one it would turn into a hospital visit basically. So I didn't know what was going on, I had no understanding. And I went to the hairdresser about 4 years ago, so I'd had a year of not knowing what was happening to me, so it was just turning into panic disorder without me even knowing. So I wasn't in a good place, but somehow I was kind of not ignoring what was going on, but just kind of hoping it was just going to go away by itself, because I had no idea what it was. And, oh, this is making me really anxious to talk about. And I would totally cut this bit and edit it out, but I'm not going to. Yeah, so I went to the hairdresser about, a year into my panic attack, so about 4 years ago. And at the time, ooh, I can show you my photos. Sounded like a ghost. Yeah, I went to the hairdresser and I had black hair. And it was really long. It was like, there. I had it for a really long time. I had it really long for a really long time. And I used to dye it black just because it was like easier, but black fades really quickly, black hair dye. So I don't know. Anyway, so I went to the hairdresser and was like, I want pastel pink hair and I want it shorter. And this, I don't want to be too mean, even though I probably should, because I should have like freaking, I had such a big cause for complaint. It's unbelievable that I didn't complain about it. But at the time I was not in a good place, and So anyway, I had black hair and I went in and I said, I want pastel pink hair. And the hairdresser agreed. Now, this is not a good thing. You are never, ever, ever supposed to dye your hair that quickly to that different a colour. Anybody who knows anything about hairdressing or colour or dye or anything will know you're just not supposed to do that. It's not just a wrecking the hair situation, it's your scalp is a very delicate piece of skin. So she was very, very wrong to agree to do it and to tell me it was possible and say, yeah, this is going to be fine. Instead of giving me the correct advice, which would have been, this is going to take about 4 sessions. Are you happy with that? You know, which of course probably at the time I would have been a bit like, nah, but I would have done it if I'd known it was like completely unsafe to do this thing that I did. Anyway, I'm going to show you the photos now because I want to see if it works. Oh, I wonder if they're all going to come up the wrong way. This is going to be fun, isn't it? This is going to be a real joyride. Okay, so I could only find 2 pictures of me with black hair that vaguely represented my black hair. And now I'm looking at it going, hang on a minute. Oh, half my hair must be tucked into my jumper. Okay, that's really not good, is it? Well, this is what we're dealing with when we don't edit videos. This is me. This is Scrabble, me being a dick and spelling quintessential. It's Christmas. I get silly. You can kind of see the black hair. There's a reflection of the light in it. You can tell I've got black hair. Anyway, really boring photo. This is me again, and you can't even see my hair because there's a scarf in the way, but you can tell it's really, really dark. That's the main aspect here. This is actually when we lived in Sweden. I was actually really happy, even though the picture suggests otherwise, but it was freezing. It was like -10 Celsius and I was not clothed properly. I was very, very cold. Now, if you think about what I just showed you, the black hair, and then you look at this. This is me. I'm trying to see if the colour's coming up or not, and because the rest of me's gone yellow over here, I'm thinking you can probably see it better. This is how light we got my hair in one sitting. I quite like this photo, but I was so distressed. Oh god, it's gone all stupid. Does this help? Showing something white. Oh my god, it's gone all yellow. Shit, how do I change that? What colour counteracts yellow? Is it blue? Oh no. Are we going to be yellow for the whole fucking thing now? Maybe if I show you the next picture. I was so upset about what went down, I had to do this and dye it bright pink because it was just, oh my god, we're still completely yellow. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna try and find out what colour I've got to make this. There we go. Oh, clever. Black apparently. That was really bothering me that the whole screen had gone yellow. I just learned something. Didn't we all? Yeah, so I was so horrified by the tale I'm going to tell you in a minute that I kept my pastel pink hair for not a long time because every time I looked in the mirror I would just cry at what had happened, so I had to dye it bright pink. I wanted to anyway, but yeah, and I don't think it was a good look on me either, like to have my hair that light, because my skin is naturally really fair but very like prone to redness, so the redness would show up so much with hair that light, which is why I don't think I could ever be blonde again. I was once like a proper blonde, like not white blonde, but like a more natural blonde, and it didn't really suit me either. I'm so sorry, I always cough in these bloody things. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of my beverage. I usually cut this out. I never show myself drinking on the screen normally, but you're seeing everything today. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, so the story goes. I went in, I got a stupid hairdresser. Yes, I'm going to call her stupid. That's the worst kind of word I can think of her right now. It was actually whoever was the colourist, or maybe it was the hairdresser being, I don't know. They were wrong, okay? Now, they bleached my hair with 40 volume. Is it 40 volume or 40% volume? I don't know. It's the bleach with 40 vol written on it, and that's like kind of the strongest kind of hair bleach that you would ever be able to buy for personal use. So I don't know if you can get stronger in salons, but I think that's pretty much as strong as it goes without it turning into like chemical burns. Yes, I'm blinking rather a lot because that will give you a clue as to what's coming next. Yeah, so to get the black out of my hair obviously was a process, quite literally it's called processing. And she did it 3 times in a row. She bleached my hair 3 times in a row, including my scalp. Now, strictly speaking, you're never actually supposed to use anything higher than 20%, 20 vol, whatever it is, on someone's scalp. For a very good bloody reason. Scalps are very sensitive, no matter who you are. Obviously, some people are going to be more prone to sensitivity. I told them this. I said, I have very sensitive skin. Can you please not put it on my scalp as much as possible? I know there's going to be some. I really don't care if I have a tiny bit of dark root left. You know, I was quite clear about this fact, that I didn't mind that I would have roots. You know. Anyway, she did not listen to me one bit, and she slapped that fucking bleach all over my scalp 3 times in a row. And I mean, like, pain. I was crying in pain. My head was burning, literally. And, of course, they've got the heater on you as well. But, yeah, I could feel something was seriously wrong. This was not the first time in my life I had bleached my hair. I had bleached my hair myself. I had bleached my hair at hairdressers. And I had never felt pain like this on my scalp. So I knew something was wrong. I don't know why I didn't realise sooner that, you know, by the 3rd application that something wasn't quite right. And I had the most enormous panic attack at the hairdressers, which is why I have a hairdresser phobia. Well, I should say salon phobia. It's not, I'm not scared of actual hairdressers, I'm scared of what happens there. So I just absolutely panicked. I mean, full-on panic attack. Like, crying my eyes out. I wasn't with anyone, you know, it was just me. It was a really busy salon. I started sweating, I started turning red. Everything going wrong. It's making me really uncomfortable to talk about this. And the worst part was, they wouldn't listen to me. And as I'm sure anybody who's had a panic attack will know, it's very hard to articulate your needs or feelings during a panic attack. So I just froze after saying to them, I'm having a panic attack. Please get this off my head. It's burning. That was as much as I could say. They wouldn't wash it off. They said, you've only got 10-20 minutes to go. It's perfectly normal for it to feel like that. They got me a glass of water and undid, like, the, you know, those things they wrap you in at the hairdresser. They undid that because they were like, oh, she's just a bit hot, sort of thing. And I'm like, I'm having a panic attack. You clearly don't understand the severity of what I'm feeling, and you are not responding to my request to please wash this fucking shit off my head. I will leave the salon looking like a scarecrow if I have to. Just let me get out of here. And they refused, and I just turned to stone. I just froze. I could not do anything. So I just sat there, having a panic attack. Not even being able, because I couldn't, it's weird because at the moment, in the moment, I even knew I couldn't run out of the salon because I needed to get this stuff off my head. And of course now, in hindsight, I'm like, I could have just run into the bit where you wash your own hair. You know, I mean, I could have just gone and washed my own hair. But I couldn't. I was frozen. I was stuck to that chair having this panic attack and no one was helping me. And it was the most terrifying thing. And I really should have put a trigger warning before this story. I'm really sorry if this has done anything to anyone. I'm now thinking I might have to edit this and put a trigger warning on the front because it's freaking me out talking about this. I will say one thing. I'm about to say something a little bit gross, as in it might make you a bit squeamish. If you're squeamish at all, maybe don't listen for the next minute. So, finally it came to the time to wash my hair. and they washed it out. And I could somehow feel things on my head as they were rubbing it. And it turned out I was covered in blisters. My scalp was ruined. I had blisters that were actually bleeding. What did they do? They went ahead and toned my hair on top of a blistering, bleeding scalp. Yes, I know it's gross. I really hope you heeded my advice and didn't listen if you're squeamish. And if you are now being sick, I'm really sorry, because my other half can't even listen to this story because it's so disgusting. And it might sound like I'm being really overdramatic, but at the time, I'm still having a panic attack, you know what I mean? Everything was extreme. So, and it was a fucking extreme event. I mean, for God's sake, someone's just burnt my scalp. And, you know, that could have led to infection, it could have led to all sorts of shit. And if you don't know anything about hair toner, I personally advise you to never go anywhere near it. It basically takes the yellow out of your hair after you bleach it. And it is the most painful experience, not that I've ever had in my life, but I'd say the most painful experience that I've ever, like, chosen, if that makes sense. Like, I chose to go and have my hair dyed. I didn't choose to have what happened to me, but, you know, it's different to having a disease and that having pain. That's completely different. So, let's say beauty-related pain, if you like. It hurt so much more than any piercing or anything. It hurt more than breaking my toe. You know, it was just, I was swearing my head off. I was crying and swearing my head off. And the girls were just laughing and going, oh, everyone swears when they get their hair toned. Ha 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 ha, don't worry, it'll be over soon. And I'm like, you're all insane. I'm having a freaking panic attack. Get me the fuck out of this place. I was so... But this is all in my head, you know, because I just could not verbalise anything. It was horrible. This is turning into a really long video. Yeah, so to kind of round it off, I got what I went in for. As you could see by the picture, I got my pastel pink hair in the worst way possible. Never, ever, ever trust a hairdresser that says they can turn black hair into pastel pink in one sitting. Never. That's a bad hairdresser. Oh my goodness. So, they finally washed it out. I was still crying after they washed it out and toned it and everything, because I was just like, don't you dare tone it anymore. Like, I managed to say it after the first time, because they were like, tell us if it gets too painful. I'm like, I told you like an hour ago that I was way past my pain threshold, dude. Yeah. So I told them, I just said, just wash it off. I don't care what it looks like, just wash it off, just wash it off. And because I was at the basin, someone actually listened and washed it off. So yeah, they didn't even have to put any pink hair dye on, because they didn't leave the toner on as long as they wanted, so it actually turned out to be pastel pink, if that makes any sense. Because, yeah, anyway. The toner has a shade of pink in it, the one they used. So, then I had to go through the whole freaking hair, you know, finishing the haircut and blow drying and everything, and I was just sitting there just like, in that horrible aftermath of a panic attack, just sitting there all numb and kind of, oh my god, I just want to get home. I finally paid and left, and just, I didn't say anything, because I just couldn't do anything other than focus on getting myself home. I cried all the way home. I got home, I went through the door, I burst into tears. At the time, we were living with my parents. My other half and my mum, like, you know, greeted me at the door and were like, oh my god, what happened? And I was like, I think I might have even, you know, just kind of hugged one of them and kind of sunk to the ground. I was just in agony, and I thought, I've been tortured. What's gonna happen? You know, I didn't know what kind of a mess my scalp was in either at that point. All I could feel was like my scalp was on fire for about a week. And then I got my other half to have a look, and what he saw was not good. And I don't have any photos of that. I know I took some, like in case I was going to go to the doctor or something, but I didn't. So lucky that it didn't turn into anything else, and that I didn't get blood poisoning or anything like that. But yeah, my scalp was covered in blisters, and some of them are still there. I've literally been scarred for life by this event. Yeah, so this is not actually the short version of the story. I've pretty much told you the entire thing, so I probably won't have to go back and make another longer video than this. I guess I just got really into the story, and it's kind of hard to leave any of that out. But yeah, so needless to say, I never went back to that salon, and I regret to this day not reporting the person or not making a complaint to the company or anything. But yeah, that set off a chain reaction of panic attack after panic attack after panic attack every time I would go back to the town that I had the haircut in, and all kinds of bad shit happened. And I didn't get my hair cut for 3 years. I didn't get it dyed by anyone else other than like dye it myself or get my other half to help me dye it. I did not cut my hair. By the time I actually went to have a haircut, my hair was like just the most disgusting mess. And when I went in, I kind of like, I felt like I had to tell the person, and I was like, look, I had a really bad experience and that's why my hair looks like total shit right now. And they were fine about it, but that actually didn't happen for 3 more years. So obviously it happened here in Toronto. I haven't posted any of the videos where I've been to get my hair cut. I filmed every single one of them. It's happened 3 times. No, that I didn't film the first one. I actually had, or have, a friend of a friend here. Like, it's very hard to explain, so I won't bother. It's a friend of a friend who cuts hair at her house. So I was able to take my other half to this girl's house and have her cut my hair. So it was like a kind of first step, because it didn't feel like I was in a salon. I was just getting it just lobbed off, you know, into a bob. Very scary. Oh, excuse me. Very scary, but I got through it. That was in the first, I don't know. Anyway, it was, well, it must have been within the last year, so it must have been the beginning of last year. I have no idea. I've kind of lost my timeline thing, so it really doesn't matter. After that, it took a long time again to go back to a real salon, and I just did it on the fly one day. I kind of went out with my other half, and I was like, okay, we'll go out and we'll like find a random salon and we'll just go in and do it. And I did it, and I did film that day. So that footage is somewhere. Hopefully I'll put it up one day. It was oh my god, it makes me want to cry, because I remember how difficult it was. I can't cry because I can't edit it. Yeah. It seems so silly to cry about a hairdresser, but whew, okay. Let's get ourselves together. But nothing is silly if it is something that has involved a panic attack, a trigger event, anything like that. So I'm not going to sit here and, you know, say that it is actually silly to cry about this, because it is not silly when, yeah, it's a serious thing to me. So there you go. And then I went and got my hair cut again about 4, maybe 6 months ago, and again I did film that, but I've never posted it. And that was on a really good day. Like, I was having a really good day. I've been to therapy. It was before the bubble, the recent one, so it's probably a little bit longer than I'm remembering, but I know it was in the summer. So yeah, it was before the bubble, and I was making progress in therapy, and yeah, I just walked in to the first, not the first hairdresser, but a hairdresser that I found, and I just went in and I got it cut. I have never been back to get my hair dyed. I've never had it dyed professionally, like not since that event, and I still dye my own hair. You totally can't see what colour my hair is in this video. I realise this. It's actually purple, but you can't see it. It just looks kind of brown and dark. But you'll probably notice a difference to how it was a few weeks ago, because I only recently dyed it. And just quickly on the end of this, I'm going to tell you how I do that now, because I know that there'll be a lot of people that still... There's going to be so many people that can't actually go to salons for so many different reasons. Like, if you're completely agoraphobic, obviously you're not going to go to a salon because you can't leave your house. Hopefully you have someone that can come to your house and that you trust enough that can do your hair for you, or you have a family member who just happens to cut hair. I have none of these things, but I'm also not completely agoraphobic anymore. So if I can catch myself on the right day, seemingly I can get my hair cut. Although since that recent bubble, I think it would terrify me again. So I'm just going to tell you what I did recently to get my hair like this. You can't really see, but there's kind of pink bits at the front, just there, like tiny little tips of pink. The The rest of it's purple. I know it's not showing up. I know I sound crazy right now. But I promise you it is actually purple with pink bits. It's just the lighting. So I discovered this product, and I probably showed it before. But no, read it first. Yeah, it's called Easy Lights by Mark Anthony. And it's like a highlighting spray that you use with a straightening iron. And it's really, really good. The box is yellow. I'm worried what it's going to do to the colour of the rest of the video. I'm going to take it away. Yeah, I'm always surprised when a product like this works, because it just sounds too good to be true. That you can just spray this on your hair, flat iron it, and you'll all of a sudden be blonde. It's not quite that easy. These are the colours on the side. You know how they always give you like a colour chart. I hope I'm not wobbling too much, and I hope you can see that. I kind of started a medium brown, so I don't know which one that is. Anyway, took me about 5 goes, and you're not really supposed to do more than 2 in a row, like between hair washes. Like, you can do it twice on the same day, and then you're supposed to wait until you've washed your hair again, like so as not to just constantly be putting heat. I think it's more to do with the heat than the actual product. So I think over the course of a month I just kept kind of doing it. And if you just want some vague highlights, this would be excellent, like really excellent. So easy to use. Try not to get it on your hands, because it does contain peroxide or something. It's really, really good. Anyway, making this too long, I used this over about a month. I just used it every time I washed my hair. Afterwards I would just flat iron the front bit and spray this on, and it would take it to a much lighter colour, and I ended up with some blonde streaks. And then I went to my local Shoppers Drug Mart, which is amazing that you can actually buy Manic Panic hair dye in a shop around the corner. Like, in the UK you cannot do that, or maybe you can now, but you couldn't when I left. And this is Manic Panic hair dye semi-permanent in the colour Fuchsia Shock, and it is awesome. And I just know this is not going to show up. Oh my god, I'm at 27 minutes. This is going to cut me off. You can't really see the colour. No, that just looks not right at all. Okay, it's a bright, bright, bright fuchsia. So it's a purpley pink. It's fucking gorgeous. The only problem is it bleeds. So if you're wearing anything other than a black top, your top is going to get pink. Your bed is going to get pink. Your cat is going to get pink if you hug it too much. Honestly, it gets everywhere. And no matter how much you rinse it out, nope, you're going to get pink everywhere until about the 5th hair wash. And this is about 5 hair washes later, and it's still doing really good. And this is over natural hair, apart from the small parts that I did with the bleach. God, I've got to hurry up, because it stops recording at half an hour. Yeah, so I won't be using that colour again, even though it's the perfect colour. And it works so well over natural brown hair, I couldn't believe it. So this is the colour I used to use, I just couldn't get any. And it's by Special Effects, and it's called Virgin Rose. It's pretty much the same colour, it just lasts longer, it doesn't have as much, like, bleed out, you know, I don't know what other word to use. So that's the one I go for next time. Seriously, I've got a minute and a half to shut the fuck up about this. Yeah, so that's how I dye my hair now. I'm never putting bleach on my scalp ever again. Ever. I'm just gonna stick to this, because if this is what I can achieve over natural hair, I'm quite happy with that. Like, in another video I'll put up a photo of what this actually looks like in normal light, but I can't do that now. And yeah, thanks for listening to such a long story. That was not supposed to turn into such a long story, but it has. Okay. I love how the cat has actually been asleep in the background the whole time, which means, yeah, he's been asleep for half an hour with me, talking. That's really, really cute. Me, I kind of want to grab him and give him a cuddle and show you, but I won't, because he's having a nice time, just chilling out on the bed. Now I'm going to wrap it up and say goodbye. And yeah, thanks so much. If you listen to this whole thing, I really appreciate it, and that really could have been told in a lot less time. But I do tend to go off, and I realised I didn't even look at my frickin' story that I'd written down, but I don't think I needed to. I think I said everything that I'd written down. I have 30 seconds before it's going to cut me off, so I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. And yeah, that's it. Okay, bye bye.